I really didn't have the when I came back with the two-tone goatee and everything, and I didn't have uh, the mechanical skill to be a heel and take bumps like a heel should really take bumps correctly. Like you can get away, a baby face can get away a lot easier without having to take bumps for the heel. The heel needs to take bumps for a baby face. There's no question about that. And so it was just easier for me and my persona and my promos and everything, and physically. And I suggested that to Vince, and he agreed. And so we brought me back in with being a baby face, and instantly did an angle with Butch Reed, and which was a mid card angle.
Yeah.
It wasn't a full blown main event angle. It was a mid card angle. Yes, it was beginning to get so bad, the pain, that I finally had to stop wrestling and become more of a commentator. Vince said, "Let's try you at commentating," and he was very accommodating to me, and I really enjoyed commentating, and thought I was doing well at commentating, and but then I had my hip surgery, and then continued commentating, and then Vince thought I would do well as a manager with Don Morocco, and so we gave that a little bit of a run, and I just wasn't comfortable. I was hurting. I was having all kinds of physical problems, and my heart wasn't into being a manager. Don Morocco was great to be a manager for, because they were really giving him a big push, and he was really over. And but I just didn't. I really cut some good promos for Don, but it just didn't work, because it didn't fit for me either. And I would rather have been just a straight commentator instead of a manager. I enjoyed commentating much more, and I believe I should have really been given a chance.
You commentated SummerSlam '88.
SummerSlam, exactly, '88, right?
Gorilla Monsoon.
Right, with Gorilla Monsoon.
Much of the
I really enjoyed that. I thought I did a good job. I got a lot of good compliments off of it. And but Vince just wasn't into me being a commentator. He just didn't want to do it, didn't want to go for it. And I thought that I was really catching on and having fun doing it and enjoyed it. And but Vince just didn't want to go for it, just didn't want to do it. And I got the phone call one day, and he said, "Superstar, quote, we're going to have to put you in the bullpen for a while." He says, "I just not happy with the commentating." He says, "You're doing a good job, but I just don't think it's working out right. And so I'm going to have to put you in the bullpen." I said, "Oh, okay." And so that means I'm not going to be having a job. He says, "Well, if you want to put it that way," that's what it kind of amounts to when you get put in the bullpen. So
Did Morocco's getting fired have anything to do with your end to managing him?
it probably sealed the deal, and I forgot the exact details of his firing, but
I believe he was asked to do a urine test for Nick Bockwinkel, and
yes, that was exactly right.
Can
Right.
you tell that story?
I can't remember the details of it. I can't remember the details
He
of
ended
it.
up urinating on an agent.
On the what?
But I think Nick asked him to piss in the cup, and he pissed directly on the agent. And just a little bit about your time in WWE at this point. What was the steroid use like among wrestlers in this era of WWE compared to your first run in WWE?
Oh, it had exploded. The use of steroids had exploded to a new, before it was, no one was really doing it hardly at all that I was aware of. But now on this run, it had really, really taken off, and guys were really using a lot of steroids, and it was pretty obvious, and also other drugs, and but steroids had really taken off by this time. Very blatant use. I had given a couple guys some shots myself in locker rooms, and right out in the open, and there was no even attempt to conceal it.
The agents didn't really mind.
Nah, wait till an agent was out of the room or something. Yeah, it's very simple.
And there was actually a doctor at the time who was actually selling steroids and other drugs to wrestlers right in the WWE locker rooms. Was he there every night, or was it at certain TV tapings? How did that work?
Yes, that was Dr. George Zahorian from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and he would come to the Harrisburg the tapings. He would come to our tapings and be in the arena and openly sell steroids and other drugs backstage in the locker room to the wrestlers, and right out in the open. So there was no trying to conceal it. And
oh, so it was right in the dressing room.
Oh, in the dressing room, yes, absolutely, right out in the open, the dressing room.
Big bag of
Yeah, have a bag with your name on it, and everything.
So you would pre-order these?
Pre-ordered, yeah, a lot of pre-orders, and he had already have them packed. You know, Billy Graham, so and so, and then others would a lot of times would just buy on the spot.
And would wrestlers ever get steroids mailed to them from these doctors?
Oh yes, that was the big trial, was the FedEx discovery of all the boxes going out to various wrestlers, and the big investigation that led to the trial and eventual conviction of Zahorian for mailing and selling and distributing steroids via FedEx. And so
that was actually what he was convicted on, mailing steroids via FedEx.
Exactly, right, because there was a FedEx employee that noticed all these boxes going out from Dr. George Zahorian, as a wrestling fan who worked for FedEx, who saw all the packages going out and said, from Dr. George Zahorian to all these wrestling guys, and he's a fan, so he recognized the names. He said, there's something wrong here. So he tipped off the FBI, as a guy who worked for FedEx.